Happy Friday. Mike Larson, Allen Realtors here on a hazy Friday with the wildfires raging on the West Coast, adding to the real challenges that we've had in 2020 with, COVID-19, of course, and social unrest and divisiveness among political parties and now the wildfires. And, 2020 has been a real challenging year. And that challenge extends to buyers in this market as well. And so this video is going to try and address the 9 things that I think will improve your chances of getting your offer accepted in this market, which is very, very heavily weighted towards sellers. It's a seller's market. So probably the first thing to remember, I guess, when you're structuring an offer is to put yourself in the mind of the seller. And the seller has 3 primary things that they're concerned with. Price, obviously. I mean, the most price is probably the biggest thing for the seller. But the 2 other things are how can I minimize my risk, and how can I minimize the hassle, I guess, that goes into selling my house. So if you can, put yourself in the seller's position, I think that will go a long ways towards getting your offer accepted. So number 1, get pre-approved. Get pre-approved. Talk to a lender. I mean, it'll take a little time, but it'll be worth it. And that's just a basic fundamental thing in any market, but even more so in this market. Number 2, keep it simple. Don't ask for anything crazy. Don't ask for the window coverings or the big toy in the backyard or some crazy closing date options. Keep it simple. Pick your battles carefully, and keep your offer clean and straightforward. Number 3, if you can, offer a larger earnest money. Earnest monies are incredibly difficult to lose. I mean, they're applied toward the purchase, and you get it back if you disapprove the inspection or there's some other legal way to get out of the deal. But the larger the earnest money, the larger your demonstration to the seller that you're a serious buyer. Number 4, have your lender call the listing broker. Yes, call on the telephone. A lot of agents just send a pre-approval letter from ABC Mortgage. When the lender calls, there's a human element, and it has value not only to the seller, but even more so to the agent. And the agent's as much somebody you want to convince that your offer is the best one, as it is the seller. And so have your buyer's lender call the listing broker and tell them about your buyer's bulletproof ability to purchase the property. Number 5, tighten up your timelines. For example, the inspection deadline has a 10-day time frame. If you can do it in 3 or 4 days, and you remove that as a concern for the seller in 3 days rather than 10 days, that's a plus. So if you can, tighten up those deadlines and timelines, not in a reckless way, but just in a way that makes sense. Number 6, know the seller's needs. I will always call the listing broker and say, what can you tell me about your seller and their seller's situation that will help us put our best foot forward with this offer? Maybe the seller is looking to purchase a home and they need some latitude on the closing date. Maybe they want the option to rent back for a couple months after closing. Who knows what the situation is, but sellers have needs as well. And if you can cater your offer to a specific need that a seller has, that has some real value to it. Number 7, make a strong initial offer. This is not a market where, hey, I never pay full price. Well, no, you're going to pay full price in this market, and probably more than full price. And you're going to be competing against 4, 6, 9, 12, 15 other buyers out there who have the same objective that you have. And I'm not saying be reckless, but I'm saying put your best foot forward. Don't dip your big toe in the shallow end. You got to do a belly flop in the deep end. And so, this is not for the faint of heart, and relying on your agent to help you with, what's a strong offer and what's a reckless offer, I think is important. Number 8, use the escalation addendum. And if we're talking about making strong offers, but not unnecessarily strong offers, the escalation addendum is a very useful tool in that regard. An escalation addendum allows you um, to make an offer on a property and then to say you are going to beat the next highest offer by $1,000 up to, say, a ceiling number. So property's listed at $400,000. You offer $400,000 with an escalation addendum up to $425,000, which says you'll beat the next highest offer up to $425,000 by $1,000. So if the next highest offer is $415,000, then you'll pay $416,000, and theoretically they will choose your offer. Lastly, number 9, Form 22AD. Form 22AD is the additional down payment addendum, which says that you will pay X amount in additional down payment in the event, and only in the event, in the event that the appraisal does not support the list price. A lot of times people are offering more than asking price, and the seller has a real concern that the property's not going to appraise for that price. What the Form 22AD does is assures the seller that in the event that it doesn't appraise, the buyer will put down X amount of dollars, $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, to bridge that gap between the sales price and the appraised price. It's only due if it doesn't appraise for the sales price. But it's a good way to ease the concerns of sellers in a real crazy market. So lots of stuff here and a lot of sophistication. This ran longer than it normally goes, but it's something that is not easy to explain in 4 minutes. So thank you for watching. Certainly if you are a buyer and would like to make an offer or want to learn more about buying in this market, give me a call. We'll go from there. Have a great weekend. Go Seahawks. Okay, bye.